competition, but they're not fast enough. They don't bring the pace that we need for our event. And today I had to go to the back and talk to Kennedy Maciel. I'm like, Kennedy, you're great. You're a world champion. You are an amazing athlete, but we need a faster pace from you, right? And he was expecting to fight for the title next, but we have to go back to the lab and kind of think about what we are going to do with him, because he needs to move faster for us to continue to bring him back in. So we want a faster pace. We want excitement. We want the grandma that is watching at home to understand what's happening and to be excited about the sport of jiu-jitsu. And like I said, jiu-jitsu can be methodical and slow, and can also be very exciting and very fast. And we are looking for the fast-paced athletes that get in there and compete and fight the whole time.
Right. And lastly, for me, you know how disjointed the BJJ world has been. You're giving out these amazing UFC titles. Is the ultimate hope that the UFC belt becomes like the highest level of reward in the sport? And if that is, how do you get there? And how long does it take to see that vision become reality?
I don't think it's going to take very long, because we have the vision. We understand what it takes for the UFC BJJ event to become the most prestigious jiu-jitsu event. We do understand what it takes. We have Dana that is supporting the event and introducing jiu-jitsu to a lot more people that don't know the sport of jiu-jitsu. The UFC reaches about 1 billion people, 200 million homes every week, and we are introducing the sport of jiu-jitsu for so many more people that don't know anything about the sport of jiu-jitsu, right? So I feel like we are on the right track. We have a great product that really excites people, and we have to continue to deliver matches like that, events like that, energy like we did for UFC BJJ 1 and 2 in order to get to that level. But I don't think it's going to take much longer. I can only imagine, Andrew Tackett was talking about, he said, I am fighting for this to change my life, and I'm going to make more money doing this. I'm going to change my life doing this. And in 5 to 10 years, a lot of kids will be able to step in here and change their lives through jiu-jitsu, which was my dream, and I had to go fight MMA, and now the kids don't have to. So I'm very happy for them. I feel like this is the greatest time to be in the sport of jiu-jitsu, and this is the generation that is opening the doors for all the kids that are dreaming about becoming a jiu-jitsu competitor in the future. We are here, and we're here to stay.
Speaking of the excitement, you saw some of the fighters later on as the matches started going to really use the slant of the bowl even more so. Are you seeing the, evolution of fighters and how they're able to use the bowl setup to move the matches forward? And is that something that you envision that as fighters get used to the bowl and the sloping, that we're going to see moves that get created because of the way that the bowl is created?
Yeah, if you take a look at Raquel Canuto and Mo Black, that knee bar only happened that fast because of the round of the bowl, right? So we will see more submissions on that area, and we will see a lot more action on that area as well. When we look at a square competition space, you're kind of stuck in the corners, and there's so many hard corners where you kind of don't let the match continue the whole time. In the bowl, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go. You have to continue a submission. Like if somebody gets into a submission and they roll 2, 3, 4 times, if it was in a flat mat, they would be out of bounds. And here you're gonna get finished, right? So we joke about this, like watching jiu-jitsu competitors in the bowl. It's like watching animals in the wild, and watching jiu-jitsu competitors on the flat mat is like watching animals in the zoo, where they can't really do much. They're very limited, right? And here we get to watch the pure sport of jiu-jitsu happening with no hard corners. The bowl was designed for that to happen. And I'm sure the more we do these events, the more the athletes get to train in there, they'll get more creative, and we're gonna see a lot more submissions from there, a lot more action from there too.
I guess that was my follow-up question, was the training aspect. How are you instructing fighters to try to prepare for the bowl? And is there a setup? I haven't been over to PI. Do you guys have a bowl setup that they'll actually be able to train out of? Should they come here, or is that something that may be in the works?
We set the bowl up a couple of days before the competition, and we let them in there. We let them go in there and train and see how it works and train with their training partners and try to come up with different submissions and different moves from there. Our goal is to get that bowl set up here somewhere in Las Vegas, maybe even in the Apex. We are growing the Apex, maybe even here, but they need to train in there more to be able to come up with more moves from the corners and use the corners more.
And last week we saw Andrew Tackett defend the belt. We got it 1 month ago. We're hearing that Mikey Musmech is going to be at the next one for BJJ 3. So is there going to be title events at every one? Is that kind of what we're expecting to see? Like these belts are defended or earned one BJJ and then might possibly be defended the next time? Or how is it going to be playing out with these belts for the future?
Yeah, we are still building the whole structure of the event, and Andrew, William Tackett, they are great ambassadors of what we are doing. They are the example of this kind of answer the question. Like if you want to know how to get to compete for UFC BJJ, watch the Tackett brothers, watch Renato Canuto, watch Raquel Canuto. Like they're an example of what we need here and what we want here. And we want them active in the sport of Jiu-Jitsu. When I competed in Jiu-Jitsu growing up and all the way up to my black belt, I was competing every weekend. They want to stay active. They are not getting hit in the head. They can stay active. They can make more money if they compete more. And we love having them back. Like Andrew just came back here after a month of winning his title. So we're gonna see them very active here, and the more we build their star power, the more money they make, the more they grow, the more the sport of Jiu-Jitsu grow, which is our ultimate goal.
Clyde over here. Going along that note on Andrew, I know you mentioned there earlier that you want even the ground at home to watch and enjoy what's going on with the BJJ product, but when you think of Andrew Tackett, it seems like he's always in really fun matches, even prior to the UFC BJJ tenure. So you see the potential in him where he can be one of those guys that the casual live watches and kind of starts to fall in love with the product and become a regular customer for BJJ?
For sure, I can see that. I think people want to watch things that they get emotionally involved with, right? It's easy to get emotionally involved with MMA. It's the most primitive way of watching sport, and Jiu-Jitsu is a little more methodical. It's so it can be so complicated. And a guy like Andrew that steps in there and really showcases everything he knows. He's not afraid of being on his back, being on top. He's not afraid of trading takedowns. He really showcased an amazing toolbox, and he knows so much about Jiu-Jitsu. And he's well-spoken. He's a very polite guy. He treats everybody well, and I think he's a great ambassador for our brand. And a lot of people that never met him before are just getting introduced to him or kind of falling in love to what Andrew Tackett is. So I feel like the brothers are really what we see like the future of UFC BJJ.
Hi, I have a question. Tonight we had an exciting night alongside with the women in Jiu-Jitsu. When will we start seeing championships in the women division?
Yeah, pretty soon. Actually, Raquel Canuto has been competing for us for a while. She was, prior to UFC BJJ, we had the UFC Fight Pass Invitational series, and she was winning every series. We gave her a match for the last UFC Fight Pass Invitational, and she lost. So we brought her back today, and she won. So she's probably going to be the next 145er fighting for the title.
That's my next question. What are the weight classes for the championships for the women?
Right now we have 125 and 145 because it's hard to find a lot of girls to build a whole division, and we're still trying to understand what we can and can't do, and we feel like we can build the 125 division and the 145 division now. Thank you, guys.
You don't need to accept that.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Who else is coming? Tackett?
to represent the women. I'm scared about the women. So does that mean that this belt will be more prestigious than the IBJJF belt?
Hi guys, Mason Fowler.
What's up, guys?
Congratulations on a very impressive performance tonight. I'm sure you had a little time to reflect. You want to go back and watch it, but I mean, as you sit there now, how do you feel about the performance this evening?
Man, I'm honored to be getting interviewed by you. You're a legend.
Thank you,
You're over
sir.
here on the Jiu-Jitsu guys now too, huh?
You're too kind. Now you're one of my favorite graphics.
Yeah. Now I feel like a real UFC fighter. I got the legends. Next thing you know, Ariel's going to be here in the front row.
I wouldn't count that.
Yeah, what was your question?
Just how'd you feel about your performance out there tonight?
Oh yeah, I feel good. I wanted to definitely get a submission. Garmo's super tough, and he has a couple things he's really good at, so I didn't want to be overconfident or anything like that. My goal really was to just try to get him tired and be patient and be cautious in the first few minutes. But also the problem with that is sometimes it can get kind of boring when you're playing too cautious. So yeah, I'm glad that I was able to get him out of there fast, not get in any danger, and also, you know, get a fast submission. It was awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about the expectations of you guys as athletes, you know, making it exciting, aggression, offense. Does it change anything from your background, from everything you built to? Is it any more difficult to go out there and think, I have to perform not only what I'm best at, but in a certain manner?
Yeah, that's the problem with jiu-jitsu, is that patience is very, very important in jiu-jitsu. And a lot of the time what you'll see one guy that's really pushing the pace and trying to push for action in the early part of the match, and he'll get tired, and then the other guy will end up catching him in something because of it. So it's very common that jiu-jitsu players are a lot more patient, but the difference is now we know after 5 minutes we're going to get a break. So we're a little bit more motivated to push the pace. You know, if you have a long 15 or 20-minute match, you're going to be pacing so much, and that's why the matches start so slow. So I think this format, the 3 5-minute rounds, I think that's really going to encourage people to push the pace and have more exciting matches.
Yeah. I'm curious, like with the way you evaluate, like having the breaks, is the benefit most that you get a little breather and you get a little rest, or is that you know that if you get stuck in a bad position, you are going to get out of it and you get a reset to a neutral spot?
Yeah, both of those things for sure. But for the most part, it's going to encourage, it's more because it's going to encourage the action. Yeah, it is nice that if someone has you in a fully locked in rear naked choke, you might be able to get saved by the bell. That's awesome too. But the biggest thing is just knowing, like, okay, I can expend a little bit of energy here because I know I'm going to get a break. Because it's very common in like a 15-minute jiu-jitsu match, it's very common to see like guys just hand fighting for like 12 or 13 minutes, and then they'll just try to take a shot in the last 2 minutes to win the match. And so you're not going to see that here, because if you don't do anything in the first 5 minutes, you can expect to lose the round.
Yeah.
So at least we're going to see people shooting and trying to make something happen within 5 minutes. We might see 1 or 2 minutes of dead time, but we're not going to see like 15 minutes of dead time.
It's an exciting product. You got a great belt in front of you. I mean, you've been competing at a high level for so long, but what does this result mean to you? I mean, we're kind of seeing this whole UFC thing develop in front of our eyes, but what does it mean for you to now be kind of a representative of the brand and to be a champion?
Yeah, I was the champion before of Submission Underground, which was a big grappling league that was on UFC Fight Pass. So I've been in this position before. The only thing that's changing now is that, you know, Submission Underground, it was an amazing event, but it was never like, there was never any thought that like, oh, this might be like the new big thing. And that's kind of what we're seeing with the UFC BJJ, is that, who knows, maybe in 10 years or 20 years, like this might become one of the pinnacles of the sport. Obviously, it's still growing. They're still adding more, you know, higher level competitors to each event. But yeah, it would be cool. Like I said before the match, it would be really cool to be like one of those early UFC guys that won like a UFC heavyweight title before it was really like that big of a sport, because you're always going to be a UFC champion. So I kind of have that same mentality that now I'm the UFC BJJ champ. No one's ever going to be able to take that away from me. And so 20 years down the line, if this thing explodes and blows up, I'll always be able to have that on my resume.
That's awesome, man. Lastly for me, what's the plan now? I mean, we're seeing people turn around pretty quickly and defend these things. I mean, you're saying put me on the next card, or is like, let me get a little break, we'll figure out, like, what's the plan for you as champ?
Yeah, I would definitely be down to do the next card in October. There's 2 more events this year, so I wouldn't mind staying active. And, I'm hearing big things. There might be a lot of events next year as well. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of opportunities to compete. I just did like 2 events that were kind of back to back. I'm going to just take a week off. We have 9 weeks until the next event. So I'm going to literally just do nothing for 1 whole week, because the last time I competed, I was training again the next day. So I just need to get my week off and just reset a little bit. And then I'll talk to Steven and Claudia and see what they have in store for me, what they have in mind. I'm hearing little things about who might be on the next cards and stuff like that. So I don't know where I fit into all of that, but all that I know is I'm going to eat some good food and I'm going to just chill for a few days.
Thoughts on the bowl and how it sort of gave you opportunities and openings out there, and what was your reaction to just being able to transfer your game to that space?
Yeah, the bowl. I think the bowl's amazing because what I've always run into, as far as jiu-jitsu guys go, I'm pretty I can handle myself on the feet. Usually jiu-jitsu guys, the thing that they're known for is like that they suck at wrestling. I have a decent amount of wrestling for a jiu-jitsu guy, and the problem I always have is that if I'm taking the center of the mats and I'm walking the guy down, they can just keep backing up. And if someone's backing up the whole time, it's hard to shoot in on their legs because they're constantly moving their hips backwards. And in wrestling, you get like a point if you push the person out. So that really encourages people to come forward with their weight. And when someone's coming forward with their weight, that's when you can like post up on the hands and shoot underneath and get to their legs. So I think the bowl is going to encourage a lot more action. People aren't just going to be able to keep running around and pushing their hips back and stopping themselves from getting taken down. And I think it's going to give an advantage to the person that's pushing forward a lot more.
Do you envision that that just the bowl itself is going to change the shape? I feel like now people are just starting to get access to the bowl and that they're building their techniques around it now. But in 2 years from now, you might be a completely different athlete in there using the bowl. You might be, I don't know, doing gymnastics off the side of the bowl or something, for as far as we know.
Yeah, I mean, the one hard thing is that it's hard to train in it unless you can convince whatever gym you're training at to build one.
Yeah.
My coach is super hard-headed. He's definitely not going to build any type of bowl or pit inside of our gym. So I came in with the expectation that I'm not going to be able to train for it. And my goal is just going to be to make sure that I'm the one pushing forward. And that way it doesn't really come into play for me. If anything, it's going to come into play for my opponent because he's going to be the one that's getting pushed up against the bowl.
I know I did ask Claudia about it, and they're hoping to see if they can build out one here, either in the Apex or something. So if they did build out a facility where there was one, would you find yourself coming there a lot more often to train and use it if it was there?
Yeah, being with the UFC, you have like the access to the PI, and there's a lot of cool benefits if you do live in Vegas. And now, the Tackets have said that they're going to be moving to Vegas. And I've played around with the idea a little bit in my head. I live in California. I live in San Jose. The prices of housing is super expensive there. And, you look at what kind of house you can buy in San Jose, and then you look at what kind of house you can buy in Vegas, and it's like, oh, I can use the PI. So it's tempting, but I do have a good community in San Jose. I have a good relationship with my coach, and I have a really good system at my gym. I get a lot of leeway there. I can kind of, I get a little bit of pull. I have a little bit of pull there, and I'm 30 minutes away from DC's Wrestling Academy. I like to go and wrestle at DC's gym with his high school kids and stuff like that. So I got a lot of good stuff to utilize in San Jose as well. So it's tough, but I'll definitely, if they have one here, then I'll definitely come here, maybe a little bit early and try to get a couple rounds in it just to get comfortable.
Last for me, they seem very honest and open. It seems like they polled you guys for a lot of questions and feedbacks. Now that you've been in there, you went through one of these, do you have any feedback now from what you've dealt with here that they can maybe change and make better? If they came to you and said, Mason, what can we make better? Is there anything that you noticed this week that you would like different?
Nothing off the top of my head. If I think of something, I'll text Steven. But yeah, nothing off the top of my head. Everything's cool, man. I always feel really respected by all the employees here. I mean, every single person here, from the people that pick you up, all the people that give you your merch and give you all the information, either at the Apex or the PI. Any of the employees here that have helped us out, everyone's super cool. Everyone's super respectful. So yeah, I feel really comfortable here. So I like competing here, and yeah, I don't really have anything off the top of my head that they need to improve on.
Hey, Mason. So at the end of the match, you had 3 call-outs. You had Pedro Machado, you had Lucas Barbosa, and Devontae Johnson. Is there any kind of hierarchy you have on any of these opponents? Would you rather like to see one before the other, or it doesn't matter?
I would say Pedro did me dirty. He tapped me bad. So I would definitely like to get that match back. Whenever I saw him competing on the UFC BJJ 1, he had a good performance, and I like the kid. It's not like no hard feelings or anything like that. He's a good kid, and he was super respectful when we competed against each other. But yeah, we were at the finals of the World Championships. I won my division, he won his division. We both smoked everyone in the absolute, and then we met in the finals of the absolute division. And I was feeling good, and I was like, oh, today's my day. I'm going to get double gold. And he came out with a super slick armbar, like straight away within the first minute. Popped my arm up, made my arm up. So yeah, that's one I would love to get back for sure.
Well, now it seems like you have a target on your back now. You have some hardware, and that hardware is pretty heavy. I'm sure you've thought about winning this belt for quite some time now. Now that you have it, have you thought much beyond that of what this means? As now you have a target on your back, and people are going to be gunning for you. You might get that match. Have you ever thought about the responsibilities of carrying that belt in your preparation for this?
Yeah, same thing. Like I was the champion of Submission Underground for like 3 years. I had like 9 title defenses, and I was super active. I was a little bit younger at that time, so it was a little bit easier to compete like back to back to back. But yeah, it's the same thing, you know. Like whether or not I had the belt, I've been competing against the best guys in the world on this platform and on other platforms for a long time. Just a few matches ago, I competed against Nicky Rod, who's like arguably pound for pound, you know, he's top 3 in heavyweight, if not number 1. Had a close match with him. I submitted Pedro Murillo, who's like been the top ranked, number 1 ranked 205er in the world for like the past 3 years. So it's really nothing new. Like having the belt, it's awesome. Having the belt's cool, and it comes with the extra marketing and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like I've been competing against these guys already for the past. I've been competing at the black belt level since 2019, so it's not really gonna be anything new.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations with the belt was awesome. He's backing up, his victories. You touched on something real interesting because I know we get to talk to professional mixed martial artists, but that's that full contact. What's with the way UFC is putting this platform on, and you're one of the guys kind of like leading this charge? What's the ideal activity for you? Is it going to be not necessarily monthly, but like 2 months? Stay, constantly grinding to just make the most of this, or do you pump the brakes and say like, let me see what they do first and piggyback off of that?
Yeah, it really depends because it depends on injuries and like just before the match with between the match with Cristiano Troisi and Nicky Rod, I had like a full year off because I had a back injury, for example. So injuries play a factor. A little bit of I don't think I would want to compete like every month, because then it's just going to be, especially with having to make weight and stuff like that, you're going to start burning yourself out a little bit. So I think there's a good middle ground there somewhere, probably every 10 to 12 weeks. That way you can do a hard like 7-8 weeks of like training camp, and then you can have 3 or 4 weeks a little bit lighter, and you can kind of just repeat that cycle.
Awesome. And kind of like what you touched on a little bit earlier with Kenny, if they were to, with the expansion of the Apex and the guys always there, if they did have a facility where you can train at, would that encourage more guys to not necessarily move out here, but get out here sooner to be able to acclimate, if that's the word, to goal, and be able to put in the work? Because like you said, not too many gyms are going to just want to come out of pocket and build that.
Yeah, I do think it would be good to get maybe a few sessions in the bowl and also just get comfortable in the bowl. But I think it's fine. I think you can train on flat mats and just adjust to the bowl. It doesn't. I don't think it makes like that big of a difference where it's like, oh my God, I need to train in the bowl every single day, right? But It's more so the athletes that I've heard that are moving out here, it's more so they can utilize the PI and get the meals and the physical therapy and all those kind of perks.
Congrats to the women. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, over the shoulder. And then just stand over the shoulder. Good. All good, guys? Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you did?
I guess just talk to me right now about overall just the feeling of the whole experience.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, competing on the same card as Andrew is always a blast. He really brings the heat, the energy, and being able to go first to kind of set the tone for him to go out there and win his title fight is always a blast. So I was really happy that we got to be on the same card and both get first round wins. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because obviously you got to focus on yourself, but you probably do feel like a little bit of responsibility to set the tone. Did that almost like add some pressure? Like I can't like lose this and have him thinking about me when he's going out there.
I think definitely if you think about it, but I just try to like tune out all the noise and just focus on like the task at hand. I've competed so much now that a lot of like my bad performances come down to maybe like some things that I'm thinking about before the match or during the match. And I kind of like go away from the game plan and I lose focus. So I just try to like stay dialed in, push out the outside noise and just try to take it at the task at hand.
I can't imagine you have much criticism of how you performed tonight, but what are your thoughts overall? I mean, how did it go versus your expectations?
Well, he did get on my leg like pretty early when I hit that duck. So that's something that could have went wrong pretty badly because he's definitely one of the best leg lockers in the game. I'm confident in my leg lock defense and I was able to kind of dissect that position and get to some of my dominant passing positions. But overall, I'm really happy with how I performed. I didn't think I was going to be able to get to his back and finish him early like that. I thought it was going to be kind of a little bit more of a grind where I'd have to like pressure him into him kind of giving up and giving bad position. But it worked out.
This is still such a new project, right? I mean, just the whole UFC BJJ brand. I guess give us just your overall thoughts now, you know, the performance, you know, just the whole thing, what it's like and what it means in the grappling community.
I mean, it means so much, dude. Like when I first started Jiu-Jitsu in 2009 in Austin, Texas, there was no competition at all really within the state of Texas. You had to travel like pretty far or out of state. And if you wanted to compete against the best guys, you had to go all the way to California to compete at the Kids Pan Ams. There just wasn't that much opportunity, you know, and there definitely wasn't anything to get paid. So nowadays, like to have a really legit company like the UFC pouring into the sport and giving us actual careers is just like something I couldn't even have dreamed of. I thought I'd be owning a gym and running a gym and just be like teaching to make money by now, but I'm here at like the biggest stage in the world fighting for money and it's amazing. So I couldn't be happier and it's just great for all the people back home watching that are maybe like in the same place I was in 2009 where you're just a kid like hoping to make a dream out of it and you get to see someone like me that's kind of making it, you know? So I think it's great. It's inspiring for everyone back home. So I think we're going to see a big change in the sport with all this new generation having the ability to like push into the UFC and make a career out of it. I think it's awesome. I think it's great. And I couldn't be more thankful for the UFC for really taking hold of the sport of jiu-jitsu.
That's awesome, man. And last, I agree, your brother's setting a pretty high bar in terms of activity level. What's the plan for you? I mean, are you turning this thing around in October or I mean, what's the plan?
If they give me the call, I'll show up. I'm kind of the type, I'm not going to turn down matches. I want to like maximize my time here as much as possible. So if they call me up to compete in October, they call me up to compete in December and in January or February, March, like I'll show up for all of them. So as long as I'm healthy and able to step on the mat and perform, I'm all for it.
Just got one. If your brother ever makes the move over to the UFC, tries to do some fighting in MMA, are you going to do the same?
No, definitely not. No, I mean, I don't like really get punched in the face. I think MMA as a sport, like I've been a fan of since I was a kid, and I can nerd out about it as a spectator, but it's not something that's that fun when you're actually in there, getting punched in the face. My best friend, Cody Steele, he's in the UFC, and I get to sit ringside to kind of corner him sometimes. And I'll like hear those shots, like when they land, just loud cracks, and it's just not something that I want to be a part of. I could maybe coach it or like sit on the side and watch it, but yeah, I'm gonna stick to jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Congratulations on your win, by the way. So I just wanted to ask, since you faced him before, did you like going into the match, like feel, or as the match went on, did you feel more confident? Like, did he feel the same? Did you feel like it felt more comfortable before you rolled with him, or like what were your thoughts on? Because you said you've grown a lot in your skills, in jiu-jitsu. So, what did it feel like rolling with him again? And yeah, what's your take on that?
Man, it's been so long. Like it's been about 6 years, I think, since we competed. So it definitely didn't feel familiar. For me, like all jiu-jitsu feels familiar at this point. I've been training for so long and have so many hours on the mat. He just felt like another long, strong, lanky, wiry guard player. And I've trained or competed against hundreds, maybe even thousands of those body styles before, and didn't really feel much different. So it definitely felt familiar, but I wasn't having like flashbacks or anything to the first match. I was trying to stay locked in and just wanted to really stick to the game plan. And how the match played out was exactly how the game plan was. Like I did 3 5-minute rounds with my buddy Davis Cole last night at the PI, and like the rounds looked exactly like that. I was doing the same style passing, same chest-to-chest pressure, same shoulder pressure, causing him to frame so I could clear that arm to get to the arm triangle and hunt the back. It was the exact same. So I couldn't be more happy with how like the game plan played out in the match. So as far as that went, I'm just really happy with how I performed. I think that if I can strategize and I get a full camp in where I can really try to dial in my style to combat against someone else's style, I feel like I could beat anyone in the world.
Congratulations once again on the win. After this win, where do you think this places you in the picture, in the path of UFC BJJ? Has anyone mentioned to you X amount of matches before a title opportunity? What are your plans?
Well, I think I'm the most active guy in the division right now. We do have Jonathan Gracie, who has had some matches on this stage before too, but it's been a while since he's been out here. So other than him, I feel like I'm the most active guy out here right now. So I'm just going to keep trying to chip away at the division. If they want to put another contender in front of me before I face the title, then I'll go ahead and do that as well. But I'm just looking to get to that title whenever I can, and hopefully as soon as possible. So if they have to give me one more person before the title, then that's cool with me. But if they can give me a title right away, that's also cool with me. I'm just going to show up and make sure I'm ready as possible for that day. But yeah, I just want to get that title. So hopefully sooner than later.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All good? Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And the hair is
Go. Hair looks good.
Got the belt in place, got the hair in place.
Ready.
The water in place.
Got to face the logo forward if they're paid. This is obviously your high challenge, whether you're.
It's not open. Is this on? Yeah. Okay.
Well, look, congratulations first off. Just overall the match, I mean, obviously you're a high energy grappler, but that was as high energy as it gets. I mean, no wasted time, activity right away. He matched you overall. What were your thoughts on it? Is that what you were expecting to see tonight?
I was not expecting him to blast over me in the first 2 seconds. I was like, dang, he's taken that out of my book. So it fired me up, honestly, when he came at me that hot. It honestly like fired me up more, him coming at me like that, because I was like, yes. I was like, this is what I prepared for. I like to prepare for matches like, okay, I'm expecting to submit you fast, but I'm preparing for a war. So if that happens, I don't shy away from it. And it was a war until it wasn't, and I'm thankful for that. You know, I went out there, I put on a good show, I put on a good performance, and I got a first round finish. And so ideal, very ideal.
Yeah, that would seem to be exactly the type of match that UFC BJJ wants to see to help grow the sport. I mean, is that the match that you feel like you could put on every time, or do you feel like it would be a little less chaotic sometimes would be nice as well?
Not with my personality, no. I love scrapping. The more the challenge, the more the intensity, the more that we're just going at it, the better. Either I'm gassing out or you're gassing out. We're not going to have a boring match. So I'm down to scrap even harder than that, you know? If you want to, let's do it, type of thing.
How aware were you of the time when you locked in the choke, and did you feel like, oh, I got to get this now?
Yeah, I was pretty aware. Okay, I was like, I looked up, I was in top side control. I was like, okay, we're winning this round. He's breathing heavy, I'm breathing heavy. Let's just calm my heart rate down, get ready for the second round. And then I like started like feeling like a dart set up, because my brother William was like, don't give up, Andrew. You still can submit and finish the round off like in a submission in a good position. And then I like slapped on the Doris, and I was like, okay, this feels tight. I didn't know he was like grinning and wincing. And then my brother yelled, Andrew, you got it, you got it. And then so that gave me the confidence to fully send it on the submission. And then he started tapping. I didn't let go until like 5-6 taps because the ref hadn't stopped yet. So sorry, Renato, but you know, we had to make sure the ref stopped it first. But yeah.
You're in the UFC. That's the instructions. You go until the referee stops it.
Oh yeah, just so there's no second questioning it.
100%. Obviously, even though it's just one round, I mean, all over the bowl, up the walls a little bit. I mean, my question, like, how do you prepare for that? I mean, can you train? Because I think we're all kind of wondering now, as this is evolving, is there any way to prepare, you know, specifically for that with the different angles and the levers that you're going to feel when you're competing all around the bowl like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to like build a bowl in order to fully prepare for it. Or you're going to have to like build a wall. I'd say like that's the best way to prepare for that. And hopefully we start getting like pits and bowls, or even like half pits, half bowls, you know, like in gyms and stuff. Because I really see this as the future. You know, like just strapping in a bowl, there's no way to run out of bounds. It's just so much, you don't have to worry about anything else except scrapping. About, you know, the guy running out, you don't have to worry about, you know, attacking when you're too far off the mat. Like you just keep pushing forward, keep controlling the center, and scrap hard. And so I really see it as the future. So hopefully soon we start seeing gyms, you know, incorporating those like in their gym.
Last thing for me, obviously, it's been a great start to your UFC BJJ career. I mean, how active can you stay? Do you keep turning this thing around and putting the belt up? Do you need a little time off to get a break? What's the plan?
I mean, I plan on competing for years. You know, I plan on like making a legacy and keep going. You know, I don't want my legacy of UFC just to be like 1 year, 2 year thing. Like I just want to keep going for as long as I can. And in order to do that, I have to give myself the proper rest seasons just so I don't beat myself down too much. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take a little bit of a rest and try and get like on the December card or something like that. But definitely, I feel good enough to get straight back into a camp and keep going. But longevity-wise, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. But yeah, thank you. All right, who's next?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
You know, during the match, you didn't disappoint. Always high pace. It seemed like you threw a bicep slicer on him at one point.
I threw up a lot at him.
Yeah.
We were just going. I think it was a Brazza Plata.
Brazza Plata. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is that something you've been pulling off in training? And while you do you ever play with the idea of, I want to be the first to pull off filling your submission here?
Yeah.
Do you ever challenge yourself in training and then try to translate that into the competition mats? Is that part of your mindset?
I've actually never really thought about that, like being the first to pull off a submission or being the first to like hit something super cool. I just like working things like in a training room, and if it feels really good for like my body type and my strengths and talents, then I'll incorporate it. I don't really do brazza paladas. I do like doing omoplatas a lot, which I threw up omoplata, he put his hand in, and then I just switched to that. It just happened. I just attacked him everywhere, and always in a match, it's never like, okay, let's chill or let's see what's next. It's just like, okay, let's just go, let's go, let's go. Okay, I got this. Let's keep going with this. Now what's next? Like, I'm not trying to plan too much. I just take what comes and I just keep scrapping. And that just fell into my lap. And I know how to do it because I know how to do pretty much like all of jiu-jitsu because I've trained for so long. So if something like falls into my lap, I'm gonna rip it and I'm gonna go for it. But yeah, it didn't work out, but the Dars did.
Well, congratulations and for being the first to defend the title.
Yeah, first in history to defend the title. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Making history.
Let's go.
Right here real quick. Claudia said you're not afraid of being on your back, trading takedowns, and she really said that you're a great ambassador for the BJJ brand and the product that they're going for right now. So what's it like hearing that from her? And when I asked her more about you and your brother, she said that she sees you guys as like the future of UFC BJJ. So what's it like hearing that? And yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
That's pretty cool, man. To hear someone believing like in me from like the person that, I'm like working under the person that, is like leading this thing, like to hear them say that is pretty cool. It means that they like me and they're gonna take care of me. So that's pretty sick. I mean, yeah, I know I'm someone that's like worth investing in because I know I scrap and I know I'm not like an absolute like idiot on the mic all the time, but I'm not afraid to like embarrass myself as well. Like I'm not afraid to do things that it's like will catch people's eyes or like will be good for media. So I'm agree with her. She's got her head in the right place.
Going along that note, given your style, the way you scrap, and you obviously not being scared to go on the mic, do you think you're one of the guys that could attract the casual audience into BJJ, UFC BJJ?
I mean, I think it would be cool. That's my goal. My goal is to have such a fan-friendly style and such a like easy to watch style that everyone wants to watch it. Not just like the jiu-jitsu people that are invested in jiu-jitsu and enjoy watching jiu-jitsu. Like I don't want to be a background noise fighter. I want to be like when you watch me, you're not talking, but you're like watching me. Or like even an old match when you're watching me, like it's exciting. You want to watch. And I think by portraying that, like a lot of people from other sports and a lot of other, other like unknown people that don't know jiu-jitsu are going to eventually come in. If I was to just like, I'm not even say pull guard because pulling guard can be interesting sometimes, but if I just like attack the same thing over and over again, like the exact same straight ankle lock 10 times after 10 times, or attack the same triangle 10 times after 10 times, it's going to get very boring for the audience. But I mean, thinking back on that match, I think I went for like 8 different things. Even in my match against Cade, like constantly switching it up. And that's what's really interesting, to watch. Like, oh, he's going for this. Now he's going for this. And I really think that's what jiu-jitsu needs because it's like we don't got that one-punch knockout like thing that MMA has, so you can get a little bit more reckless and take a little bit more chances and push the pace a little bit more. And I think when jiu-jitsu like starts to realize that, then it's really going to blow up. And that's just what I'm trying to portray. Just go out there, scrap, be fearless, and challenge yourself. And if something doesn't work, don't do it again. Do something else. Don't be boring.
Last one for me. You mentioned there, Cade. I know there's promotional barriers, but do you think rematch with Cade would eventually be the biggest?
Oh, it'd be so cool, man. I want, there's a couple of people I'd love to compete against. Like, there's so many hot people, like Joseph Chin, Elijah Dorsey, like Mika, Cade, Ty. There's a lot of other people as well, but all these guys I want to have a rematch with and have a match with. It'd be super cool to have a rematch with Cade. Like, he's super hot and he's super like good and like active right now, like in the sport, and I think it would be like really cool to me to challenge myself to that degree and seek a victory over him. And I would love that, But it's if they're willing to come over. But there's rules, regulations, like between promotions. So there's no hard feelings if not. But I would love to personally. It would mean like I would like to scrap,
Congrats on the win.
What's up, man?
I mean,
How you doing tonight?
doing great.
Let's go.
The buzz after the event in the arena was nuts, by the way.
Yeah?
Thank you for that fight. That
Oh
was
yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Well, I can sleep better now knowing that I put on a good show. Like if I didn't, I'd be beating myself up. So
Yeah, people love that. And just a fun one for me. Getting this belt around your waist, defending it, main eventing, and your brother, how do you guys celebrate this weekend? Because that has to be a special.
Sushi. We eating sushi. No, we celebrate by just spending time with the people we love, man. You know, I have a close group of friends that really love on me and I love on them. They tell me the things I don't want to hear. You know, they are always supporting me. And those are the people that I want to celebrate with, you know. I want to go out after this and I want to eat some sushi, get full and just, you know, reminisce of just like the night and all of that. And then, yeah, that's how I like to celebrate. I don't want to go out and like get drunk and party and all that stuff. Like I just want to like spend the time with the people that I know love me and I know have my best interests in mind and do that thing.
What a great memory. Well done tonight.
Great memory. Fantastic. Yeah. Me and my brother both winning tonight is such a cool thing.
Sir, first of all, congrats on the W. And as
Hey,
you are,
look at the accent. Where's that from?
I'm from Russia, comrade.
Wow, let's go. I might have a hard time understanding you, all right?
Wanna come to Dagestan 2-3 years?
Bro, 3 years and forget? 3 years and forget, man, I'd be a beast, bro. I'd be a beast. I might grow a beard, shave a mustache, you know? We'd look scary. And shave the hair, man. I'd look scary.
It's obvious. Mandatory. It's mandatory. Look, you as the first person who defended this belt, so the question about the belt, is there a space for rubies, like on a UFC belt?
Rubies?
Yeah. Like, on the UFC belt, if you defend the title.
It'd be kind of cool. Give me some rubies, man. I'll take some rubies. I'll take some rubies. Yeah, I've had 2 rubies already, so let's get some rubies on the belt. But is there some space on it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could put one right there, one right there, one right there. There's space for sure. Let's get some emeralds, rubies, diamonds, whatever.
We'll bring it for the next press conference.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. What's your name?
Vlad.
Vlad, thank you, man.
All good?
All right,
Perfect.
sick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, boys.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, it's a general term. It's kind of like.
I had no idea the sandals said UFC BJJ.
Yeah,
Those are
Cody,
pretty
really,
cool.
Cody, really.
Good.
Okay, there we go.
Which camera are we looking at?
Straight down. Then one time right here? Yes.
That's good.
Let's go, boys. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Take it all. Take it all, then they ask you, yeah, I'll put it up. I just want to put them in the road.
I don't want to push it. That's what they All right, so plan on one tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, I mean, obviously I can let you know, but yeah, go hit me up. Yeah, it should be plenty early. What should I say going on? Oh, I have a Zoom 3. No, it'll be fine. Actually,
3? 2 hours.
Maybe, I'll hit you up as soon as I get home, maybe 12.
Yeah, I mean, I'm flexible.
Say for like 12 maybe.
I'm flexible.
Unless something happened here that for some reason we got delayed after that. I mean, I imagine all the things when we done, we're gonna have to face off. I'll be out of here, but hopefully.
11. Maybe ping me right after. You don't hear from me, but let's aim for 12. And then I'll hit you up.
I'll be at my computer. It's not like I'm running around. Like I'll be working, so I'll be at my desk.
It'll never get old. Well, I think it's like a little roost. I like that. I like little room. You won't hit the bottom, you stretch the sides. See me, the backdrop looked amazing.
The big feet though.
Didn't even notice a thing.
Good. It's not good. I mean, the center looked good.
What?
The center looked fine.
Yeah, right? That's all that matters.
What? Oh, I don't give a shit. I read books. Yeah, you want to? Are you going now? All right. Whose turn is it? I don't remember. Do you mind ordering it? It's Vlad. It is Vlad. Go tell him he's outside.
Oh my God.
Rubles.